entering the eerie depths of Chokeslam Radio, where expert insider WWE knowledge and secrets are unleashed with thunderous power.
Rest in peace.
Coming to you live straight from the heart of Death Valley, here are your mysterious hosts, DRW15 and DJ Big Unknown.
Greetings and welcome back to a brand new episode of Chokeslam Radio. We have a very big week of WWE fights coming up. And, even last night, those fighters sure put on a show. That's all I got to say. But we got the King and Queen of the Ring event coming up this weekend. And I can't wait to get into this. I don't know about you, DRW15.
Yeah, absolutely. DRW15 and Big Unknown in the studio. We're getting ready for King and Queen of the Ring coming up. As Big Unknown said over here, it was a pretty great week of fights already. And I can't wait to see the fights coming up. So let's dive right into this. I'm excited. We got a lot to talk about this week. It's gonna be a good one.
Look, I don't even know where to get started, but the match that's on everyone's mind right now is Jey Uso versus the Ring General Gunther. Now, this was one of the craziest matches I've ever seen. Like, talk about two powerhouses, two wrestlers who, they're going to give it their all. So, we've seen them fight before, but there's a lot more on the line this time with the King of the Ring tournament. They both had to go through all these struggles to get to where they are and to be eliminated right before the final round. Neither of them wanted that to happen. So, it was a hell of a fight.
Yeah, we talked about it last week. We were excited for that one. We knew it was going to be a banger, and it definitely lived up to expectations. I think it honestly could have been the championship match. I know Randy Orton still has to fight Tama Tonga there on the other side to see who fights Gunther. But yeah, no, I agree. It was a hell of a fight. Gunther came in with those chops and those slaps, and we know that Jey Uso is gonna come in with the super kicks and all the flying moves. So it was a great fight. Two superstars in the ring, without a doubt. And I will say, Gunther did have the upper hand a little bit at the end, but I think both fighters gave it their all. We can't talk down on Jey for that performance because he really showed out in the ring.
Yeah, and one thing I was surprised about is Gunther didn't have to cheat this time, unlike his match against Sheamus. I thought that he was going to have to resort to his old ways to try to get this in order to get this win here, but it was a very impressive performance by Gunther. In fact, I thought Gunther was definitely kind of dominating the whole match. Like Jey had a couple moments where he had the upper hand, but Gunther really, he was a very dominant force.
Yeah, no, definitely, I agree. I respect Gunther for fighting a legit fight. As you mentioned, he has cheated or used his little buddy for help in the past. So I'm glad and I'm proud that he was able to just stand in there one-on-one, go toe-to-toe with Jey Uso and show that he is still the Ring General. But at the same time, at the end of the day, this is just the King of the Ring tournament. It is another name to add to your title, but until he wins that WWE championship or some real belt again, I don't know how much credit we can give to him. This is definitely a stepping stone if he ends up coming up victorious in the whole tournament. But I don't know if I can put him up there on the same level with Cody or with Roman or anyone like that yet. I think he still has a lot to prove.
Well, we're getting down to the wire here with this King of the Ring tournament. What are your predictions for who's going to win Friday? And then after that, based on who wins, do you think they'll be able to overcome the Ring General?
Well, first I'll say it will be tough. Whoever's going up against the Ring General, because he's just so dominant in the ring. He showed it time and time again. I got to go with my man Randy. I mean, the Bloodline has cheated their way through this whole tournament, but Randy's known as the Legend Killer. I don't even think Tama Tonga's a legend or even close to that yet. So Randy's beaten people a lot better than him, and I've got faith he's got what it takes to do it again. He knows all these little gimmicks and like cheater moves that the Bloodline puts on. So I think if anyone's going to be able to outsmart them, it's going to be Randy. So I got my boy RK.
I disagree. As we've seen in the past, every time Randy Orton has gone up against the Bloodline, he's failed. In fact, it was the Bloodline who injured him and put him out for a couple months. And, that's going to get in his head, but I really don't see him winning this match with Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa all teamed up. I mean, they're not what the Bloodline used to be, but some would argue that this is a more intense Bloodline, a more serious and focused Bloodline than before, and this could pose even more of a threat. So, I mean, Randy is the Legend Killer, I think he could win this match. I'm not counting him out of it, but, Bloodline all day. We the ones.
Yeah, well, the Bloodline have shown that they're not afraid to bend the rules. So Randy might need some sort of assistance to pull off the dub in this one. I'm not going to lie. But, maybe he'll call on his old friend Kevin Owens. We haven't seen them really team up since WrestleMania, but they rode on that golf cart into the ring together. Those guys are boys, and I know Kevin Owens hates the Bloodline almost as much as Randy. So if there's ever a time for him to come out, help a boy out.
Yeah, but I don't. If Randy Orton, even when teamed up with Kevin Owens, they couldn't take down Logan Paul. So what makes you think they're going to be able to take down the entire Bloodline? I know Roman Reigns isn't there, but the tribal chief is still there in like spiritually, pretty much. Like once you're the tribal chief, like you're always going to be there if the Bloodline's there.
No, I'm not buying that. I don't think that the Bloodline is what it once was. They're not the same without Roman, and I think this is a chance for them to finally prove that the Bloodline ain't all that. Solo Sikoa ain't all that, and Tama Tonga, he's nothing special. It's not what it used to be. And the Bloodline have won all these easy matches by cheating up to this point, but I think this is finally time that we expose the Bloodline for who they really are.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm disagreeing with you on that, but let's say Randy Orton does win. Okay. Do you think the Viper has what it takes to take down the Ring General?
That would be a good fight. As I said, the Viper, the Legend Killer, he goes by a lot of names. You never know what Randy's going to pull out of his bag, but Gunther's looked so dominant in this tournament. We've seen Randy, his knee's been bugging him a little bit. So, if anyone's going to take advantage of a weak point, it's going to be Gunther. So if that is a matchup, I would be a little bit worried for Randy. I'm still going to root for him. That's my boy since day one, but it's going to be a tough match for Randy, but he's proven time and time again, never count him out.
I think that Gunther, when he fights Tama Tonga, because Randy's not winning, I think that could be a better match because, Gunther's going up. Like when you're fighting anyone from the Bloodline, you're not fighting just that guy. You're fighting the whole Bloodline. But if there's anyone who could take on a group like the Bloodline, it's Imperium because they're kind of known to do the same thing. So they might be one or two steps ahead of the Bloodline. I know Ludwig Kaiser is probably going to be involved in this final match no matter who Gunther's going against. He's going to be running around out there. But there's another person that we can't forget about, and that's Giovanni Vinci. He's recently been kicked out of Imperium. He could be jealous about them, maybe team up with the Bloodline for a match or two to take down Gunther. I could totally see that happening. You know, the Bloodline has been known to make alliances in the past when it benefits them. We've seen them briefly team up with Judgment Day. We've seen them team up with Sami Zayn. So why not make a temporary alliance with Giovanni Vinci to get back at Imperium? I could see that happening.
Yeah, well, this is what I don't like about the King of the Ring tournament, because it's supposed to be, you know, the King of the Ring, if you will. But if it's Gunther versus Tama Tonga in the finals, there's going to be 5-6 people around the ring. Like, can you really call yourself the king if you need 3 or 4 people outside the ring to help you out? You know, I think the King of the Ring should be the one guy who can really put it out in the ring and dominate in there. And I think Gunther's got that for sure. But you know, if Tama Tonga needs all his bloodline helpers, how is he going to be the King of the Ring? And how is Solo Sikoa going to take it now that Tama Tonga thinks that he's the King of the Ring if he wins? You know, because as we've talked about, Solo's trying to take over the bloodline, but now all of a sudden, if Tama Tonga is this new King of the Ring, he might want to take control of the bloodline. So there's a lot going on here. But...
Have you ever played chess?
Have you ever played rugby?
Well, yeah. What I'm trying to get, my point here is that when you play chess, you know, it's the kings going against each other, but it's not just the kings. Every king has a knight, a bishop, a rook. Every king's got their pawns, you know. Every king has got their queen. So, you know, chess is a old game that's been played for centuries, and you know, people compare master strategists like the Bloodline and Imperium to chess players. So you know, they might bring out some of those old chess strategies against each other. And I guess I'm excited to see what happens this weekend, and that's my whole point. Is every king has his kingdom. You know, Randy Orton, who's he have? Kevin Owens, is that his queen? I don't know. I don't think Randy Orton has any pawns or bishops or rooks or anything. You know, I don't. That's why I don't really see Randy taking this King of the Ring tournament.
Yeah, no, I mean that's fair. It is chess, not checkers. So,
yeah, well, we do have a surprise guest who actually is a chess expert. So,
yeah, this is perfect timing. Let's
bring
get him in here.
Are you ready? Okay, yeah, let's go.
What's up, guys?
How's it going, young? What is that, young Chody?
Young Chody, yeah, that's me.
Cody or Chody, yeah.
Yeah, I just released a rap LP. It's I mentioned you guys a lot. Actually,
awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying to start like a new beat.
That's exciting.
But no, it's more Andrew because as you can see, I think in my thing, I'm Carson's baby daddy. So.
Oh, I do see that.
I can't.
Where can we find your album? If you want to give your album a shout out, how do we find it?
Most of the streets. Any guy just in the middle of the city selling like an on-march CD, that's me. So
okay.
We wanted to make it like obviously like we're not trying to like destroy all these streaming platforms because we just shut it down. So you know, we're doing it for those who really want it, which is most people. So you know, we printed about 7 trillion.
Okay.
And we've already sold half. So it's, yeah.
Wow.
So
congratulations.
If I see someone hanging out in a tent in the city, I should ask them about Young Chody's new album, and he'll know.
Yeah, we're averaging about 10 sales per tent. So,
wow.
We'll definitely have spare. Yeah,
that's impressive.
There we go.
Yeah, it's intense. I missed the Shades memo.
That's all right.
It happens.
Yeah.
Well,
most people don't need a
my
memo.
next album, but you guys didn't even mention Shades. Trying to catch
it's not really a memo. It's just kind of how it goes at Chokeslam Radio.
I'm a huge fan of the podcast, by the way. I've listened to every episode.
Thank you.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But you joined at a good time. We were talking about the WWE King of the Ring tournament, and I brought up the point that, Tama Tonga has all of his bloodline friends to help him out, and Gunther also has Ludwig and some of his friends, and they may be fighting in the King of the Ring championship. And I was saying, that doesn't really feel like King of the Ring to me if you need all these helpers to help you out. But Carson brought up the point that, in chess, there are the two kings fighting each other, but there's a lot more pieces than just the kings. So I would love to hear your insight on Gunther versus Tama Tonga.
Yeah. So, fun fact about the king in chess. So you know how the king can't ever be next to the square of another king?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's because the king, historically, so chess was developed in India, and the king historically were repressed homosexuals, and you don't want to get too close to another one, or else you'll be gay. So that's why that rule exists. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I never
little
thought
fun
of it
fact.
like that. So are there any like specific chess strategies that would be valuable in a fight?
Yeah. So just like a lot of street fights, a lot of street chess is you got a surprise. So like a street fight, you might like keister a knife. I always keister an extra queen and just flop on there. No one even wants to take that piece because of where it's been. So it's a pretty good tool. Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm in a pretty public place to be talking about this stuff. I'm in the middle of the gym, middle of working out. Yeah, shout out SkyX, shout out promoting college. Yeah.
So have you ever
graduation? Shout out Israel, shout out Palestine.
So you are a champion, correct? You would say?
I am a champion. I was actually a chess champion as a kid. I have a bunch of. I think I got rid of them all, but I used to leave school early to go to an invite-only chess league. I was like super. They went to state and everything. Yeah. Big chess
So what are your thoughts on Prime, the new drink that Logan Paul that's the sponsor of the WWE All Champions drink?
Are they a sponsor of this podcast? Yeah, shout out Caroline.
We're not sponsored, but we're just trying to give our
honest
viewers insights into, because a lot of our viewers are athletes and want to possibly become a WWE athlete in the future. So a lot of these athletes like Randy Orton, Logan Paul, Cody Rhodes, they're all drinking Prime. So we're just trying to learn like why Prime works and how you can utilize Prime to be at a peak performance.
Well, another fun fact, and don't look this up, Prime's actually it stands for something. Yeah.
I didn't know that. I always thought it was just like
no,
at
so
your
like
prime.
the P, so Prime, PRIME, right?
Mm-hmm.
It stands for pedophile respiration in dubious energy. I think that's what it is.
I don't think that's what it's. I honestly don't think it stands for anything. I think it means like if you're in your prime, then you're drinking it.
All right, defend it. That's fine if you're about to be on record defending, that kind of stuff. That's all you. Can you change Carson's name to Big PETA Defender?
Hey, I mean, I'm not saying anything about that, but before this conversation gets out of hand, I'm actually going to be doing a review of the Ice Pop Prime, and I'm going to be rating it 1 out of 5 stars. And I'm also going to be comparing it to this new drink. It's very rare, not in stores yet, and I was able to get my hands on this due to being on the podcast. I'm going to be comparing it to the new Skittles, tropical Skittles drink. So I'm going to take a sip of the Prime first.
Yeah, I also like diabetes.
Yeah, I mean, you can almost immediately feel the electrolytes, like just hit your system. There's no other drink that really does it, and it tastes good. It honestly, I would say it tastes like you know when you get a haircut and they have the lollipops like at the you get your haircut and they give you like a sucker.
Yeah, those
it
are the
kind of tastes
best.
like that.
Yeah.
But
That sounds pretty.
let's see how it. So for this prime flavor, this is the ice pop flavor. I'm gonna give it a 5-star rating.
Wow. How come
So
you're
now let's-
conforming to the typical 1 to 5-star system? Why not spice it up? I mean, you're a Carson's friend. Why not do like 1 to 13 or something?
Because that's just what we're doing for this episode. If you have any feedback, please leave it in the comments and we might make an update for next episode. So now we're gonna try the Skittles flavor. Oh my! It tastes like you know, like when you're eating a snow cone and like sometimes you finish the snow cone and there's like just the syrup at the bottom, but it's like really hot, so you drink just like the straight syrup. That's what this tastes like. It tastes like snow cone, but like just the syrup, no ice. So it's I would give it a 5-star, but I don't think it's as good as the prime, so I'm gonna give it 4.5 stars. So,
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Preston, you know I love straight syrup.
Oh yeah, especially maple syrup.
Yeah.
I know IHOP has the new maple syrup Pepsi flavor, which I know you were really excited about, Chase, because you're a big fan of maple syrup, and its drinking qualities, like how it's beneficial to drink, kind of like how it's good to drink pickle juice after a run sometimes. Maple syrup can have that same effect.
Yeah.
Especially in Canada, that's what they like to do a lot, I heard.
Yeah,
Sami Zayn.
look at that country. Yeah. They're really doing great things. They're inventor of the I don't think they have any exports actually. I think they're a country of nothing. So that's right.
You're
All right,
getting
well, Chody. We have some questions from our viewers. Whoops. Is it better than goat fuel? You see, goat fuel is kind of in a different category because goat fuel, that's Jerry Rice. So it's honestly like a goat already. So if you're comparing it to other drinks, you have to compare it to other goat drinks. So, I'm not aware of any other goat drinks. So it's goat fuel will always be the best until there's another goat drink that comes out.
Valuable insight right there.
All right, I think Carson started saying my exit, so I'll let you guys finish the podcast alone. But
no, I was gonna ask you who's your pick to win the King of the Ring tournament.
Well, I'm a huge fan of both guys. And I'm just they're just like those are like my two favorites. So honestly, I'm just waiting for a great match. Honestly,
nobody in particular.
Just great fighting, man. I hope after it's all wild, I hope they give each other a big hug and big kiss.
Last question: what is the best lift for fighters?
For fighters?
Yeah.
Probably lift XL because they ride with the big entourage.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Thinking outside of the box. That's great.
Yeah, that should be the new name of the show.
I don't think we're gonna rename our show just because some guest wants us to.
There might be some copyright issues there as well.
Guess?
Yeah. What?
No,
you're like our third guest.
Who are the other two guests?
John Cena and The Undertaker.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm the biggest guest so far.
Yeah, you're the only one that people actually know. You're our first rapper guest for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, go cop my LP from anybody in the town.
Yeah, Chody, before you go, where can the
Comes with a free
viewers
bag
find
of
you?
H.
Where can the viewers find you online?
I'll find them.
All right.
If they want it, yeah.
All right, guys,
I hope
watch
facial
out. If you're watching
recognition
this,
hasn't gotten good enough that this can ever find me. All right. See you guys.
Bye. Thank you.
thanks for
Yeah,
joining the
he's sharing
show.
the show. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, we've talked a lot about the King of the Ring tournament. But what about the Queen of the Ring tournament? Honestly, at this point, I don't even really care who wins that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, Bianca Belair is gonna win the whole thing, right? Like,
It's
come
her
on,
versus
like-
Valkyria. Is that her name? Valkyria?
well, Nia Jax as well. So I guess I could see Nia Jax winning, but I mean,
Yeah.
Bianca Belair is like, now that like Rhea Ripley's gone, Bianca Belair is like the only person, like only female in the WWE that's actually like a threat. You know, like I don't think there's anyone else on her level right now.
No, I think she's got a bit of a cakewalk to become the queen. Yeah, a lot of the big women's fighters aren't even in the tournament, so I mean, good for her. She's a beast, and I would be shocked if she doesn't win the Queen of the Ring, barring some crazy event happening. But
well, she does have a hurt knee, which could be an issue. And Nia Jax has that one move where she like sits on you, so I could see her maybe injuring her with that move, and then. But I mean, who's the person from the Raw side? Lyra Valkyria.
Yeah.
I don't see her winning. I think it's going to be. I think this match on Friday is the real championship, and then whoever wins that just easily takes down this minor league wrestler. And
I think this was like the first time she's ever even been into WWE, and all of a sudden she's in the finals. I mean, all she really beat was Io Sky, and
that's not saying much.
I could beat.
Yeah, I could totally beat Io Sky. Like, I don't know.
Let's talk about Braun Breaker a little bit. What's going on with that dude? That was a crazy showing he had last night on Raw. A bit unhinged, but what are your thoughts on that dude?
It gets to a point, everyone gets to a point where they're tired of getting screwed over. Braun Breaker deserves to be in the King of the Ring tournament and could maybe even win it. But, he wasn't even considered as part of it, And then when Drew McIntyre got hurt, they still didn't even add him. Like, I'm not saying that he deserves to be in it more than Jey Uso, but at the same time, you're putting dudes in it like Ilya Dragunov, who no one cares about and hasn't proved himself at all at this point. And even then, like, even if he's not in the tournament, he gets scheduled to fight against this no-name. Like, who the hell even was that? It's almost like they're just trying to piss him off. Like, and at some point you have to, if you're not happy with the way the manager is treating you, you got to show that, hey, I'm not going to be pushed around like this. You can't, keep poking a bear in the face and expect it not to, bite you back.
Yeah, you can't poke the Braun in the face and expect him not to start breaking people. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, they put him up against someone named Cale Dixon last night. Who is Cale Dixon? If I'm Cale Dixon or Cale Dixon's family, I'm probably trying to sue the WWE because that was attempted murder to put poor Cale Dixon in the ring with someone like Braun Breaker. Like no one expected that to even be a fair fight, and Kel Dixon almost died in there. So I don't know what the WWE is doing. They knew that Braun Breaker was angry. I mean, just look at the dude; he's an absolute beast, and you schedule him against some bachelor Cale Dixon. If your name is Cale Dixon, I don't know. That should say enough about who you are as a fighter. So that was a joke match, and I don't know. I think a Braun Breaker versus Gunther match or someone like that would be a good one, because that's a real fighter, and I think that's who Braun Breaker wants. He doesn't want to fight these no names Cale Dixon. As he showed, he will literally destroy someone like that in the ring. So give him a real fight, and we'll see what he's really made of.
Do you think that that's what's actually going to happen, or the WWE is going to keep pushing back and, give him someone even weaker, like maybe like Ilya Dragunov or something?
Well, that might be what happens, because all these Ilya Dragunov fans are still complaining that, he shouldn't have fought Jey Uso in the ring, and his next fight might be against Braun Breaker, and that might be the end of Ilya Dragunov right there. I'm not gonna lie. If Ilya Dragunov fights Braun Breaker, it might send him back to NXT. It might send him into retirement.
Or even worse, AEW.
Yeah, it might send him straight to AEW. Honestly, I could see that happening. So, give Braun Breaker someone real. Ilya Dragunov fans, please don't let that match happen, because, as much as we hate on Ilya Dragunov, we still want to see him, have a chance in the ring. We don't want to see anyone get killed out there. So, that's all I'll say about that.
If I was Triple H right now and I have to keep listening to all these Ilya Dragunov fans, bitching, sorry about the bad word, but, complaining that their hero isn't getting a match and this guy's way too good, like he should be winning every match, at that point I'd say, okay, put him in a one-on-one against Braun Breaker and see what happens. And, if he really is that good, then he'll survive. But, if he keeps fighting like he has, then that's going to be the end. And then you don't have to worry about all those annoying, silly fans.
Yeah, no, that is a good point. I agree with you that Triple H could schedule that match, and once and for all, all those Ilya fans will be no more, because losing to Jey Uso is one thing. I get that Jey's a superstar in the ring, main event Jey. So I could see how the Ilya fans are complaining about that, but let's see him against Braun Breaker and see if that goes any better, because I don't think it will. And as I said, I think Braun Breaker is a force to be reckoned with right now. I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up at some point during the King of the Ring finals and makes his presence known, and lets people know that he should have at least had a chance in the tournament. I know he's been vocal about it backstage, but I could see him coming out into the ring during that tournament and making a real impact. So
yeah. Well, I think maybe what Braun Breaker might be missing is a manager, someone to advocate for him, to, have his back when he's trying to get these fights. And someone who does actually have a history with Braun Breaker is the Wise Man. There was an NXT match a couple months ago when The Undertaker appeared. And during that episode, he had the Wise Man as his manager. And we know the Wise Man is going through it right now with the bloodline. He's lost his control. He's not talking to the tribal chief anymore. And you saw that scared look he gave to Jey Uso a couple weeks ago. So maybe the Wise Man, if he's considering other options, maybe he could try to join Braun Breaker and be sort of his manager going forward.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point, because I think the one thing that Braun Breaker needs, as you said, is someone to advocate for him, someone to get him, in a real fight so that he can show what he's worth. And right now he's just going crazy backstage, causing all this havoc. And I know the WWE isn't thrilled with that, but you know,
Excuse me.
if he's not able to control himself back there, the WWE is not going to put up with that. So I think having someone to control him might be the best thing for him until he gets in the ring. Someone who is a bit out of control lately is Chad Gable. That dude's a nightmare right now. Can't stand him. Alpha Academy is falling apart, and I don't know. As we've talked about before, it's just a disgrace to our whole nation the way that he's been acting lately, and something needs to change because it just reflects poorly on the U.S. as a whole.
I know. I mean, America, we don't have the best reputation. At least we're not France, but this Chad Gable guy, he's not helping us. He's just a complete nuisance. And at the same time, though, he finally got his dream of beating Sami Zayn, but unfortunately that match wasn't for the title. So, he's still got a lot to fight for. And, he gave up on two of his students. Otis, he hasn't given up on yet, but you can tell that Otis is not happy with the direction the direction his coaching style is going. And this could be the end of the Alpha Academy. We've already seen Chad Gable talking to the Creed brothers. So depending on Otis's future decisions, I could see this being the total end of the Alpha Academy.
Yeah. It seems like Chad Gable's all buddy with the Creed brothers now, and every time he and Otis are together, they get in a fight, and Chad Gable ends up slapping Otis across the face. So, I mean, if that's any sign of where this is going, I think it's about over for Alpha Academy, and it's just a matter of if Otis is able to let that go, because I know him and Chad have been friends for so long. It's tough to let someone like that go. But at the same time, if your coach is embarrassing you, slapping you, calling you all these names in front of everyone, it's time to get out of there, Otis. And we want to see more of the Otis worm and all of that. And Chad Gable, I think
that's why we love him.
Yeah. So I think it's better for Otis to get out of there, and hopefully Chad Gable can move on to bigger and better things, because right now he's doing everything wrong. He was able to beat Sami Zayn, but at what cost? Now everyone hates him, and now he's a disgrace to the nation that he loves. So just a bad situation for him.
I mean, if he does try to team up with the Creed brothers, though, all that slapping people and yelling at people, that's not gonna fly with the Creed brothers. Those guys, those guys are not people who are gonna let people get pushed around. I don't know how their moral standings are, but I don't know. That'll definitely be an interesting dynamic if they do try to team up. But with the way that he's been acting lately, I think Chad Gable would fit better on Judgment Day.
Interesting take. There is a lot of slapping already going on in Judgment Day as well. So throwing Chad Gable into the mix might just cause even more chaos. But it might allow Judgment Day to figure some stuff out if they really want to stick with Damian Priest, or, if they're too fed up with him and want to move on, because, without Mommy, as we've talked about, Judgment Day hasn't quite been the same. There's some question marks around Dom because he's been hurt, and some people have been theorizing that he's been hanging out with what's her face, Liv Morgan.
Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
Well, I saw some photos from last night of Finn Balor getting out of the car with Liv Morgan. So, there could possibly be, Liv trying to infiltrate the Judgment Day or something. I don't know what's going on there, but that's definitely not going to help with all the tension that's already there in the Judgment Day.
Yeah, and I don't know. We haven't heard Damian Priest say anything about it, but I'm sure he's seen what's going on, and he's kind of supposed to be the leader at least. Well, Rhea Ripley's out, so I would love to hear his insight on that because I'm sure he's not thrilled, but I do think he likes being the leader while Rhea Ripley's gone. So
Yeah,
the product placement.
Thank you. Yeah, I have no idea what's gonna happen with Judgment Day, Alpha Academy. You know, even Imperium is having their fights. It seems like we might see some very big changes coming up to WWE in the future. Yeah. Anyways, earlier this week we released a couple of WWE blind ranking videos, and I thought we would review them on the show because, you know, I have a thing or two to say about your rankings. I don't really know if I completely agree with them. And, you know, there's still all these people in our comments, you know, they're going to attack anything we say, but they especially attacked, you know, our rankings here. So I think it's fair for both of us to have a chance to defend our decisions. So let's go ahead and play the video here.
Okay.
Okay. I can agree with that. Okay, well, I would say I agree with your decision to put Roman at the top, but The Rock only at number 3, especially underneath Cody Rhodes. Come on, man. What are you thinking?
Well, we saw what happened at WrestleMania. Now where's The Rock? You know, he's nowhere to be found. He's obviously scared. You know, Roman lost at WrestleMania, but he at least I could understand that he needs a little bit of time off. The Rock made this whole big show about him coming back to the WWE, was in one fight, and then all of a sudden disappeared again. You know, so if anything, I could have put him a lot lower. There are some superstars that came up after him that I could argue would go above The Rock.
Well, I would argue that The Rock isn't scared of Cody at all. If he was scared of Cody, he wouldn't have challenged him for the title before he left. I think he's really scared of The Undertaker, and we've discussed this before. And I mean, who wouldn't be scared of The Undertaker, you know? I would say even Brock Lesnar's scared of The Undertaker. I don't know about Roman Reigns, but I don't think the Tribal Chief is scared of anyone, but, you know.
Yeah, well, that's why Roman's at number 1. You know, he needs some time off to rest and recover, but I don't think Roman Reigns is scared of anyone. So I agree with that choice. I stand by Roman Reigns at number 1. And I don't know. I think if Cody fights The Rock until The Rock proves he can beat him, I'm putting Cody above The Rock. And I'm standing by that.
All right, and I'm gonna respect that decision, but you know, that's like saying, if Mike Tyson beats Jake Paul, then Jake Paul is better than, unless Mike Tyson beats Jake Paul, then Jake Paul is better than him. You know, both these guys, you know, The Rock doesn't look like it, but he's pretty old. He's way past his prime. I don't think he even drinks prime. So, well, that does put him at a disadvantage to Cody because he is a prime drinker. But I don't know. You know, that's I take back what I was just saying because I didn't realize, like, if The Rock drank some Prime, then it doesn't really matter how old you are, because you can still get those electrolytes. That's why they call it Prime, because it's like you still have those electrolytes that you would have in your prime.
Yeah. Well, people forget Cody Rhodes isn't young either. He's bounced back and forth between the WWE and AEW. He was Gold Dust for a while, or Stardust, whatever his name was, but he drinks Prime and he's still the face of the WWE. So I do agree that, let the Rock try some Prime and maybe he wouldn't disappear after one match.
Okay, you know what? I agree with that take. The only thing here, LA Knight and Sheamus above Gunther, especially after that last match with Gunther versus Sheamus, and putting him that high above him. I don't really see the logic behind that one.
Yeah, no, I understand. I knew I was going to get some hate for putting Gunther that low, but Sheamus has come back from an injury, and I think at Sheamus's prime, he was the Celtic Warrior, an absolute beast in the ring. And as I've said, I think Gunther can get there. He could definitely be a lot higher, but he hasn't really proven it yet. He says he's the ring general, but he lost to Sami Zayn at WrestleMania, and I think winning this next fight and winning the King of the Ring will be big for him, but I don't think he's there yet. He's still got a lot to prove.
Okay. Other than that, though, I don't think this is that bad of a ranking, I don't know why so many people were giving you so much hate online, but anyways, let's go ahead and play mine. I can't get the music to work. Oh, here we go. Let's do this one. There we go. Okay.
Unless we want to just
what?
Should we play it from the start, or is it fine to just look at it?
Oh wait, it wasn't.
It showed like.
I mean, let's just go from here. I mean, I would have probably picked them the same order, even if I got to choose like all of them.
Mm-hmm. I know some people in your comments were not thrilled to see Dom Dom at 5. There are some bigger superstars, I would argue, a bit below him. So I just want to hear your thoughts on that one.
Well, Dom Dom, for how young he is and how great he's doing in the WWE is insane. He has a very long and very, a very successful like a successful career ahead of him, and unlike a lot of these guys on here, he's done hard time, so he has that experience in the yard. He's tough. He's not going to take shit from haters. And also he's part of the Judgment Day. He's dating Mommy. That's probably the best power couple in the WWE right now. He's definitely a threat, and he's also Rey Mysterio's son, so he has all that expertise. Even though he was a deadbeat dad, he's shown that he can put up a fight against him, even though Rey Mysterio is one of the GOATs. So I think that Dom definitely deserves where he is on the rankings right there. And if anyone has a problem with that, then you don't know anything about WWE, and you should just log off and stop watching the show. Honestly, just stop.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, Dom has been in the WWE since he was a child. There was that custody match of Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero, and Dom was a child there, and he's been in the WWE ever since. So I can dig it. What about Edge at number 9? That's a little bit low, I think, for the rated R superstar, if I'm being completely honest.
I mean, I used to think Edge was pretty cool, but like these last couple of years, he was pretty boring in the WWE, didn't really do anything. He had that big match against Sheamus, but I mean, like his last match out, that one was pretty good. But other than that, like, I mean, he started the Judgment Day, but did he really start the Judgment Day? That's like they kicked him out like immediately. So I don't think he really deserves the title as a Judgment Day member. But I don't know. I think he was probably good back in the days where he was in the Brood and he was doing crazy moves in the Money in the Bank matches and stuff like that. But nowadays, with what he's been doing in AEW and all that, it's just I've seen some of his matches in AEW and it's just a joke, and I think he's completely ruined his whole career because of that. And I lost pretty much all my respect for him. I could always gain it back based on what he does, but it just keeps going lower and lower every week. I see these clips of him over on that joke of a show.
So his involvement in the AEW definitely lowered his ranking a bit for you. That makes sense. I can stand by. Yeah. And then one final question.
But those other two guys, I mean, they are at the bottom there, the two guys above them, but they were also in AEW and they made a comeback back to WWE, and now they're thriving more than ever. So, I could see Edge maybe coming back, but he's old, he's already had what everyone thought was a career-ending injury. So I don't know, man. I just don't really see a comeback for him.
That's fair. And then one final question. I know you put Roman above Hulk Hogan and Stone Cold, and a lot of the old heads, I think, would disagree with you there and be pretty angry. I might add in the comments. So what do you have to say to your haters there?
Look, I mean, I put Stone Cold at number 4. That's a really good spot, but look at the guys he's under. Like those are probably the top 3 wrestlers of all time, like not including The Rock. The Rock wasn't an option in this, but I mean, those guys are all legends, powerhouses. Hulk Hogan, I don't know if he could beat Stone Cold. I mean, I'm sure they've had like some altercations in the past, but if they were both in their prime, I'm giving that fight to Hulk Hogan. And, at the end of the day, when Hulk Hogan was doing his thing, when it was Hulkamania, everyone knew who he was. And if you were an American, you knew Hulk Hogan, and chances were you were obsessed with them. Stone Cold, this dude is for losers who complain all day and are just angry and they just want to drink beer all day and then complain about how Prime is bad for you. It's a joke. It's these Stone Cold fans. They're always talking about how Prime is bad, it gives you cancer. Meanwhile, they're just chugging beers all day and ruining their lives, and there's a reason why maybe his career was shorter than some of the other guys on there. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, we did have some comments that were talking about how Prime causes heart disease and dehydration, which is absolutely ridiculous. I don't understand how an energy drink can cause dehydration or kill kids. Like I don't know who is in our comments or where they're getting this information from, but here on Chokeslam Radio, we'll be the first to report that Prime does not cause dehydration and it does not kill children, and it is the drink of champions.
Exactly.
That's that.
Yeah.
We're going to continue to drink it and continue to win championships. And if you want to do the same, more power to you.
Even water can kill people. If you drink too much water, that's going to kill you. So,
yeah, I
mean, all these people who are hating on Prime, they've probably never even tried it, never seen the benefits of it. Because I can guarantee you're going to, like, once you take that first sip, it just automatically, it's like a shock to your system. It's like, whoa, like it honestly feels like you're kind of like waking up for the first time, like stepping out of it. And, especially if you're about to play athletic competition or even at work too, I drink Prime at work and I dominate. I dominate all my tasks I drink Prime. I've been playing softball lately. You know, I was having a bad day on Sunday during my game. I had a ground out and then a fly out. Luckily, I had a Prime in my backpack. I drank it in the dugout, went out there, boom. I hit a rocket, you know. Like this stuff works. And if you don't believe me, try it for yourself. Don't be one of these guys who they whine and complain online, but they're not going to actually try it, you know. You can read all the books you want. You can read all the studies. You can do all the tests on what's inside it. I'm worried about what the actual results are. You know, what is this actually going to do when you drink it? And from what I've seen, from my experience, is it helps me dominate. From what I've seen with Cody Rhodes, from what I've seen with Randy Orton, they're dominating right now. So all I'm saying is if you don't like Prime, then you should try it. And if you don't want to try it and you still don't like it, that's your fault. You can, you know, you can go home crying. You can, you know, keep drinking your beers. I don't care. That's your loss. Prime is better.
Yeah, people can do all the research they want on anything you put in your body, but yeah, as you say, you know, look up all the ingredients in beer and what it does for you, and then look up Prime. Drink a Prime and then drink a beer and see which one you feel better after. You know, I promise you, you don't need Prime just before an athletic event. You know, I go to work, I drink Prime. Carson goes to work, he drinks Prime. You know, you can drink Prime anywhere, and your performance will be better. So, you know, enough with this nonsense about what's in Prime or anything like that. I agree.
And the girls like it too, man. If you're walking around with a Prime, trust me, bro, the chicks will be into it.
Yeah. Can't argue with that one. Everybody with a brain and some good looks and some championships likes Prime. So if you're one of those people and you don't like Prime, check it out.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anything else you want to discuss today, DRW? We're coming up on an hour here.
Let me think. One more thing about our friends overseas from Backlash. You know, we have no hate for the French people. They gave us French fries. They gave us French toast. You know, love them for that. But what we won't stand for is the damn chanting during the matches when we want to watch the wrestlers fight. We've had enough. Everyone in our comments is still angry at us because we complained about soccer chants during a wrestling match. So that's all I have to say about that. We have no beef with the French. I'll eat French fries all day, every day with my Prime, but I will not stand for chanting during the entire WWE match. It's too much for me, and it's not good for the fighters either.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna hate on all the French people. It's mainly like the French wrestling fans are the ones who are real, you know, pieces of. I don't like swearing, but you know, if you're a French wrestling fan, you're a piece of shit. I'm sorry. And you need to stop watching WWE, watch AEW instead, honestly, because, you know, no one at an AEW show is going to complain about you singing, mainly because no one else is there. But, you know, those guys don't really care about fighting. If they did, they'd be watching, you know, the big leagues, the real show. But, oh my gosh, like, don't even, I've already said all I have to say. If you disagree with me, watch AEW.
Yeah, no, definitely. The WWE is the real deal. And yeah, if you're there to listen to the music or to, you know, yell stuff throughout the whole match, go somewhere where they'll actually listen to you, because WWE is not about that, and it's never been about that. So quit trying to make it about the damn fans, because it's not.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I figured out what this. It tastes like I don't know, like medicine. Like it honestly doesn't taste good. Like it's just very I don't know what the hell is in this. Let me read the ingredients. I have to. Sugar, apple juice. Yeah, basically just a bunch of crap. You know, you're better off drinking Prime if you're worried about your health.
Yeah,
but I do think this would be good on like a snow cone, or maybe like a mixed drink or something.
Interesting. Is that this? It's the Skittles blue flavor.
Skittles tropical.
Okay. You heard it here first, folks. Chokeslam Radio.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, if you guys want to watch more of our show, if you want to, next episode we're going to be reviewing King and Queen of the Ring. We're very excited. If you want to see that, you got to go to Chokeslam Radio on YouTube. Search it up, or you have to go. Actually, you have to go to DRW 15 and go to the live tab, and you got to subscribe with notifications. And you can also, if you want to watch it on 2 tabs at once, go to Carson French YouTube channel. Hit the tab that says live, and you can subscribe. And we got a podcast feed coming out soon, so you're going to be able to listen on Spotify, Apple. You know, if you're a Twitter guy, an X guy, go to or girl, or they or whatever. If you like Twitter or X, go there and follow Chokeslam Radio, and we got the live stream going to that as well as this road to Instagram. That's Scientific Researchers of the Unknown. You may have heard of the TV show. We're affiliated with that show. So yeah, and anywhere else they should check out DRW 15.
No, I mean we're already on almost every social media, and we're gonna be on every social media very soon. So just look up Chokeslam, look up Chokeslam Radio, look up Ilya Dragunov fans crying, and our stuff will probably come up because that's about all we get in the comments. We're gonna keep posting
look at who R-Truth follows on Twitter.
Yeah. Oh, one more thing before we go. It was pretty cool to see Andre the Giant come out and help R-Truth in their match last night. That was very exciting. Crazy to see Andre the Giant make a comeback.
I don't think that was actually him because he died, but it could be I don't know, like his son or something. I think that I honestly don't know who that dude was, to be honest.
Well, you know, sometimes somehow Palpatine returned, somehow Andre the Giant returned. And we're not going to ask any more questions because we don't need an explanation other than that he's back and he helped R-Truth win last night. So that was cool. But yeah, shout out R-Truth, our number one fan on Twitter. We love interacting with him. Boy.
And like I said, like I've been saying, like this dude, The Miz, he always tries to make R-Truth sound like he's stupid or something. Like he did not believe that R-Truth was actually gonna get Andre the Giant to show up, you know. But he's not just saying stuff to say it. Like you said earlier, like this dude knows what he's doing. We talked about chess earlier. I could see R-Truth playing a lot of chess in his free time because he's a master tactician strategist.
Yep. He's got it up here. I think he could have won the King of the Ring tournament if they let him be in it, but he's already a tag team champion. He's already a legend. So I get they want someone else to be able to hang out in the spotlight for a little bit. But yeah, if we're thinking chess, not checkers, R-Truth is the first superstar that comes to mind for sure.
Him and Santos Escobar. I think he's a very good strategist as well.
Yeah.
You know, Judgment Day is a very exclusive group to get into, and he's only been talking to him for like 2 or 3 weeks, and he's already pretty much a member. So you know, R-Truth was trying to do that too. He got pretty much as close. So, you know, it shows how people who are smart, you know, they're trying to get into Judgment Day. Logan Paul was trying to get into Judgment Day, but he didn't make it as far because he's not that kind of strategist.
No, he's a prime athlete, but he's more of the physical, you know, champion, not the chess player. So
yeah, that's why he needed his lawyer and all those other guys out there with him.
yeah, that was a bit much.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, my stomach hurts after this Skittles drink. That was actually nasty. I don't know why I drank that whole thing. I bought a whole box of them, so I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do with them. That was a bad decision. Don't buy the Skittles drinks. I bought them on Amazon, but if you ever see them in the store, don't buy them. They're bad. Stick to the candy if you are gonna have a Skittles product. I mean, I love the candy. When I do eat candy, I usually choose Skittles. So, just don't drink it.
If you're looking for a drink, stick with Prime. This is what happens when you branch out. Once you're a champion, stick to what made you a champion. So, you heard it here first.
All right. Well, make sure to chokeslam that subscribe and tombstone that like button, and we'll catch you in the unknown. Peace.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for joining us on this bone-chilling journey through the world of WWE. Join us next time on your favorite podcast app or live Tuesday nights on YouTube, Instagram, and X. As the final bell tolls, remember to stay tuned for more spine-tingling tales from the crypt. Chokeslam that button and subscribe. Check out srotu.org and TRW15 on YouTube, or else. Until next time, may the power of the dead man be with you. Rest in peace.